why it is so hard to find a job right now, right? In this economy, it's 2024. And I think there's three reasons why it is so hard to find a job. First reason is employers are focusing on cost cutting due to inflation, right? Right now it's still experiencing inflation and high interest rates, right? And if you want to buy a house, right? And back then, like around COVID, the interest rate is 2%. So, people buying houses. That means when someone buys a house, the realtor earns money, the title company earns money, and the legal office earns money. Everyone is stimulating the economy when you buy a house, right? There's a lot of people that earns money. The closing cost you see for usually for a 2,000, 50,000, $200,000 house is about like $6,000 or $7,000, and banks are earning money right now. Interest rate, I just tried to like buy a house like a couple months ago, and interest rate is about 6.7%, and nobody want to buy a house right now. And when interest rate is so high, nobody even want to buy cars, right? Cars can come offer an interest rate of 4% to 5% or 6% even, and nobody want to buy cars anymore because interest rate is so high. So nobody can afford a $600 or $700 mortgage, and people don't want to also don't want to take out loans anymore to do like personal projects at the house, building the garage, right? Interest rate is a big problem because inflation is high. So how do we keep the inflation under control? Bump up the interest rate by Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell decided to increase the interest rate so to slow down that inflation. When interest rate is so high, consumers tend to slow on spending. People don't want to take out personal loans to go buy fancy clothes, to go eat at the restaurants, to delay like a project they don't want to do on their garage or in their bathroom. Everything slows down when interest rate is high. Look at that back then, when interest rate was at 2% around like 3 or 4 years ago. People were buying cars left and right. Teslas, they even had to increase the price from 55,000 to 60,000, and people are still buying it. And houses, they are when you have a house on the market, it usually go in one day, and 30 people line up to buy that one house. That's how crazy it is when interest rate is low. But interest rate is high, consumers are afraid to buy anything now, and they slow down. They want to save some money. And what does the company do? They cut costs because not a lot of people are spending money, and employers continue to focus on being lean, right? Being able to generate a profit, right? If they sell you something like a clothes for $10, they want to make at least $1.50 or $2 after operating expense. And if nobody's buying clothes, you got inventory build up, right? If you build an inventory, what do? Cut people first, cut the HR people, right? Cut the cashiers that are not really checking people out because you can't nobody's buying clothes. So that's one reason, right? Uh, Employers are focusing on cutting costs due to inflation. Once Jerome Powell said that they can lower the interest rate, that's when the economy started stimulating. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna talk about when the economy will get better and when there'll be jobs open up, right? And that's uh, save it from the end of the video. And make sure if you made it this far, make sure to get this video a big thumbs up. Greatly appreciate the support. And number two, for slow down, yes, companies are slow and want to wait for that perfect candidate. This is a very painful process finding a job, right? If you go LinkedIn, you want to find a job as a software engineer, you get about 400 to 600 applications in one day. If you find a job as a cashier, you also get hundreds of applications, right? Even though low paying job, because a lot of employers, especially in the tech companies, they're laying people left and right. You see, like maybe like 6 months ago, you see like crazy amount of layoff from Tesla, from Google. Like you see that lose all over the news, right? And even the blue collar jobs are laid off. And right now, we are not in a recession. It's because if you look at the data, the government jobs are growing very steady, right? It's supporting the growth, right? Because government jobs, they hire a lot of people to build a road, hire a lot of people to build like government housing, hire people to do the administration jobs. They are growing pretty steady. And then the blue collar jobs, or people that work in the restaurants, are slowly dipping into recession because people not really going out to eat depending on your location, right? If you look at Missouri or Arkansas, I don't see a lot of people, right? They try to stay away from high cost stuff and try to delay the justification of spending money on that kind of product to make you happy, like going out to eat, buying nice clothes, right? And so now companies are not, if their companies are hiring someone, they want to make sure they find that right candidate now, because um, jobs are very scarce. Competition are at all time high. Like a couple months ago, no, it was not even a couple months. A couple weeks ago, I was applying for a job. As a product designer, I work in tech, and I just every single job opening I saw 300 applications. So recruiters will spend time asking, what is your experience? What have you done that impacted the company? And they are slowly getting to know you. All right. And they say, oh, get back to you in 1 or 2 weeks. So the whole interview process ended up taking 2 months. It's very slow and painful. But they have so much candidate. If you are frustrated, they don't care. Like, okay, if you're frustrated, we got 200 people lining up behind me trying to get this job and the interview. So can I get frustrated with them? Because employers, they are spending time to make sure that they find the right candidate for the job. Even though they might spend a month on it, that's okay, because there's huge amount of people that want to get the job. And number three is companies, they're ghosting a lot of candidates, right? That's another reason you can't really get a job right now. You submit application and you do an interview and you never hear back from them for like a month. You thought you might find you might go to second round or not, but you never got an official rejection. So every day waking up like, I just want to see if I got to the second round. Like, you're waiting anxiously every single day, and a month went by, you haven't heard anything from them, because kind of the reason number two, right? They're getting so many applications. They might even just ghost you because they don't know, they forgot about your application already. So it's hard to like contact every single person as an HR person, right? HR person, like employer, they usually, a company, when it goes to bad times, they cut the HR department first. So there is not HR people that getting back to you, right? And when you have so much applications, you might get ghosted. That is a very heartbreaking thing to hear. Like, you spend time interviewing them, telling them about your experience, at least get official rejection letter, right? But you're not gonna get that because they're understaffed in that company, right? And a particular company that's not doing well, they cut the HR people. If HR is not doing well, they're gonna cut the software engineers people, right? And when they decide to rehire, maybe they have 10 HR working in HR, right? Now they only have maybe three, so you're gonna wait even longer for them to like hire people to get back on you, right? And these are like a widespread problem. Like I recently I worked in a startup like 2 years ago, and they have about 300 people, right? And they're not doing well right now. And guess who they cut first? All the HR leaders said they have about like 15 people. They cut 10 HR people working in human resource, and they cut the leaders first, and then the secondaries, and they leave the ones that is like entry level people, right? Because they are definitely not hiring. They're just keeping them for like payrolls and stuff, and if their employees have any problems, so they cut the HRs and leave a couple of them, and you apply for that company. These HR people are swamped with hundreds of applications, right? So it might not do how to do because with you. Usually, when I find someone that not getting back to me within 3 days, I just email them a couple times, and they usually get back to me. And there's not really, I haven't experienced any consequence when doing that. So that's my recommendation. If you're still waiting after 3 or 4 days, give them a heads up like, hey, had a great time interviewing with you. I just wondering how is the application. Am I moving to the second round and stuff like that. So when do I think like the economy gonna get better and the job pay is gonna get like a lot better? Well, I listened to the Jerome Powell meeting that was happened couple weeks ago, and a lot of people are predicting that the September around September end of the year they have the next meeting they will do a rate cut, which gonna stimulate the economy a lot. Like I thought in the beginning, rates are very important. People won't even take out loans. Companies, developers, not gonna take any loans to build new houses because the rate is that high, right? Once the rate go down, people will start spending money, right? People buy cars, buy houses. Developers, business people will take out loans to do business. It kind of stimulate the economy a lot once the rates go down. So end of the year, we'll see some kind of rate drop, and slowly the people realize it, and people take out loans. People developers will start taking loans to build houses, and once consumers get the money, they can spend the money, and that will kind of have a domino effect on the whole industry. So next year, we might see a really good and better job market environment. That's just my prediction from hearing from Jerome Powell and the importance of keeping the rate low. All right, I think that's about the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. My name is Kelvin, and I see you guys next video.